All right. So, this is gonna be three of like my biggest tips that I can give you guys for doing solo runs. I'm pretty experienced with doing solo runs as well as team runs of five, upwards of 10 or 15 people as well. So, just something to bear in mind. So, first tip for doing solo runs, and this is something I'm always preaching to my teammates as well who want to get into soloing, is going to be moving at your own pace. And now, what this has to do with is your kind of comfortability factor within the game. So, for instance, some people have upwards of 1,000 hours in Ready or Not. I'm not one of those people. However, I do have people inside of my unit that I play with who have over 1,000 hours, and obviously 1,000 hours in any game, you could say most people are pretty comfortable with the game at that point. But even people at about 300-400 hours in a game like Ready or Not, that's sort of like repeatable, or repetitive. Sorry, sort of repetitive. 300-400 hours is actually a lot. So again, like moving at your own pace, it kind of depends on how comfortable you are within the game. So if you aren't that comfortable, you're kind of getting into the game, you only have like 20 or 30 hours and you figure, hey, why don't I try soloing? I'm going to suggest a slower pace for you, okay? And maybe even like a simpler map as well, okay? Being just for like newer people who have like 20-30 hours, let's say like sub 50 hours, trying to move too quick, not understanding a map layout, or not understanding that you're leaving 4 different doorways and rooms that suspects could be in to come up behind you, just like little different factors like that can really affect how your solo run turns out and just how your overall experience is within the game. And now, obviously, I'm not saying to crutch on map knowledge for solo runs. However, it definitely does help if you know the map that you're playing and doing a solo run on, especially if you plan on making a kind of game plan or action plan ahead of time before you go into the run. Okay. So yeah, moving at your own pace. If you're more experienced like myself, I generally I kind of have like the thought process of going through maps in like a faster way, because this way, just the faster I'm moving through a map, the less likely I am for someone to come up behind me, and it just kind of diminishes the probability of me dying to something dumb like that. But yeah, so next tip is going to be ready for a fight anywhere. I kind of mentioned it before, but a lot of the times you do have to kind of pass by rooms, that you don't know if someone's in there or not, and you have to go explore into another open area or whatever the case may be. All right. So being ready for a fight anywhere, like let's say you cleared a hallway and you have to go into a room, being ready with your gun up when you have to come back into that hallway because it's not clear, is very important. You just have to always be on your toes in a solo run, right? You don't have teammates to rely on to watch your back. You don't have teammates to rely on to kind of watch down hallways or open doorways for you, just different things like that. So just always be on your toes and be ready to fight pretty much anywhere you are. And so I guess that kind of brings us to more or less our third and final tip. And this is a big one, okay? Take advantage of the AI, okay? The AI in this game is pretty hit or miss on whether they're, being smart or being like ridiculously overpowered. I think if you've played Raid or Not for honestly more than 10 hours, you've probably experienced a time where the AI has just instantly snapped onto your head, killed you instantly, and there was not a whole lot you could really do about it. It happens. Happens a lot less now, as the developers made some changes and kind of lowered the probability of that happening. But it does happen here and there, and it is very annoying when it does happen. Okay, but to kind of try to mitigate the risks of things like this happening, there's a couple of things you can do to take advantage of the AI. One, the AI has pretty predictable movement patterns. If they start shooting at you and you back into a room, almost 100% of the time they will kind of just follow you into that room. As you can see in the gameplay here, like that guy was already coming down the hallway to try to to try to kill me after he started shooting. Luckily, I was able to put a couple of rounds into him, and he kind of backed away. But it's just something to keep in mind. You can take advantage of the AI's movement in this game. Also, another thing, if you're doing solo runs, with regards to taking advantage of AI, most of the time you're not going to be able to get many arrests. That's just how it is. It's an uncontrollable kind of situation where you're in the animation of arresting someone. Like another enemy could come up behind you and just kill you, and there's literally nothing you could do, or just different things like that. So on the side of taking advantage of AI, really just hitting F, and then if they even like flinch or try to raise their gun up, you're just dropping them instantly. Okay. Pretty much like 90 to 95 of the suspects that I encounter in a solo run, I'm just gonna drop. Again, it's just how it is. It's more often than not, it's just more risky to arrest a suspect versus just dropping them. Obviously, realism wise, that's not that's not what you want, right? But then at the end of the day, you're also not going into a mission alone in real life like this. So again, just something to keep in mind. That's those are like the 3 big tips. So to kind of summarize, right? You want to move at your own pace. Generally, if you're more experienced, you're going to be moving a little bit faster because you have that map knowledge, and you just you've been playing the game for a while. You have more experience. If you're newer, you're going to be playing a little bit slower. You don't have as much map knowledge. You don't have as much in-game experience. So it's just playing at your own pace and whatever's making you comfortable. Point 2 was just being ready to fight anywhere, right? Walking into hallways or doors that you haven't cleared, or having to walk by rooms and then come back to them later. Just always being ready to get into a fight in solo runs is vital. You just always have to be on your toes. And final point being just be able to take advantage of the AI. Most of the time, the AI is really not that smart in this game. And so just, take advantage of that. If they start shooting you, back yourself into a room and just let them run into the doorway. It's a free kill for you. Just little things like that you can really just kind of save yourself with, and, just overall be more efficient. Right? At the end of the day, a solo run is just being about as efficient as possible. And, just getting through, completing the mission. If you're trying to get a good score, then doing that, obviously. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be all the tips that I have for you guys today. If you did enjoy, just leave a thumbs up on the video. Maybe even subscribe if you do enjoy my content. You can check out some of my other videos. Most of my other videos are just going to be runs, solo runs, runs with my team, etc. So if that's something you're interested in, give my channel a look. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks.